I'm Debbie.
And I'm Jan.
And welcome to the Villages 365.
And today we're going to talk about, can you still love the Villages after 10 years?
And I haven't quite been here full-time for 10 years. It's been 8 years for me, full-time.
Full-time,
And
12. Yeah.
So when you average it out, when you average it, it's
there we
been
go.
10.
Yeah,
So we're just going to call it 10 and be good. So,
10.
One of my favorite things that I still love to see is the eagles. We have eagles' nests here up in the big metal towers, and it's just so amazing to see the eagles flying out of those. They have the eaglets, so a lot of times you'll be on the golf course and you hear them squawking.
Yep.
And
Feed me.
Yep, waiting for Mama to feed them. So that's something that I still am amazed with after all this time.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, they really are, and they're huge. I mean, we were golfing on Palmer one time, and there was a couple of them. I think they might have been fighting over a fish. But when they're down on the ground, they're bigger than you think they are. But yeah, you're right, they're gorgeous. Can you still love the Villages after 10 years? I'm just going to say yes, you can. When we were part-time, it was almost like living in a resort. It was go, 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 fun, 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 eat out, get in the car, tool around, golf as much as we could, because we knew that we were only going to be here like for 6 months, because then we'd go back to the lake house, which was very laid back, and took us forever to go anywhere, like to a store or anything like that. So Mark and I really treated this like a resort. And people go, hey, you want to go to this place and this place? And I'm like, no, we live there. I mean, it's like I live in a resort. So, yeah. And it's still that way. We're not as enthused about go, go, go or eat out as much, but we definitely did that when we were 6 months.
Yeah, we did too. When we first moved down here, we said we ate and drank our way through the Villages. It was got to test everything out. So, but that's one of the things that I still enjoy doing is riding in the golf carts.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to get around. It's nice. I don't own a convertible anymore. I've always owned convertibles
Yep, I had
to
one
drive
when
in.
we moved down here and I sold it. Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm always in a convertible now, so I don't really need my car to be a
My
convertible.
hair was curly this morning, and we went in the golf cart, so now this is what it is. So.
And so now I've got a hat on because all my little curly colics are going. So.
Mine goes straight, hers goes curly.
Curly. So.
We need a little bit of each other's
Average,
hair.
exactly.
Yeah. When we first moved down here, Mark still worked, and he traveled a lot. And so usually Monday to Friday, he'd be gone. And so I became kind of a partner. There's a lot of men that their wives don't golf, and they would call me and say, do you want to golf with, and they weren't strange men. I mean, I knew who they were, but there was a kind of a little joke that I was the golf-o, because I'd go, yeah, I'll go golfing with you, and nobody was jealous, and we just had a good time, and it made couples or 3 or 4 couples be able to golf together. But I did a lot of golfing back then, because what else was I going to do?
Don't start the rumors. This was all platonic.
Yes, no. Mm-mm.
Don't even
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. And also on that line, the people in this neighborhood didn't even know we lived here, because I came and went golfing, then I'd come home, and I wouldn't come out, and then Mark would be here on the weekends, we'd go do stuff, and we have a neighborhood thing, and they go, how long have you lived here? And then I'd go, from 2010, and they go, really? I never saw you. And I'm like, well, I was hiding, so.
For me, I never get tired of seeing the young kids and their excitement, like down at the square and stuff. It's fun to watch the kids dance at the square. They just can't get enough of riding in the golf cart. You'll be driving down and you see these kids and they got this big old face.
We saw one today. This little boy had a big grin on his face.
And it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun place for the kids to visit. And so I don't get tired of seeing the little happy faces. I still love all the kids.
And that's kind of a cool thing, is your kids want to come here and visit. Mm-hmm. If we moved somewhere, just another city, they would be going, why, I don't need to visit. But here, it's a vacation for them too. It's a resort. It's a resort-like thing. I find that this is a great place for biking and running and walking. And you have your tennis, and we golf together, and you can be super active here, or
not.
So but if you're crafty, you can join some quilting, all that stuff. I'm not
those.
crafty. I'm better outside. So, yeah, this is just you can stay active every
And
day.
it's beautiful. Like a day like today, if you like to read, you can sit
Yeah.
on your lanai and the breeze is blowing through. It's like a perfect day to be sitting outside, just enjoying the weather. So even if you're not an active person, it's still nice to spend the time outside. It's
And there's a lot of people that have TVs on their lanai too.
Yes.
So they can you have a place to live outside. Live outside.
yep,
Yeah. So
yep. For me, speaking of the sports, tennis and golf, I've still not gotten tired of them. I kind of wonder because we kind of live like kids. Like I feel like a kid. When we were young, you go out, you play all day, and you come home, eat dinner, and then sometimes you went out and played some more, or got in the shower or whatever your parents made you do. And that's kind of the way our life is now. And I wondered, like, am I going to get bored doing all of my sports? But I am a huge sports fanatic, so I have not gotten tired yet of all of my sports, and I continue to enjoy them and the people I get to do them with.
well, yeah, and especially in the wintertime, you appreciate that you're out doing all of your outdoor activities. Where
Yep.
if you were in Illinois or Iowa or whatever, you're not,
Yeah,
unless you're snowmobiling. So, yeah, it's
that's
awesome.
too cold for me.
And another thing I like, noisy golfers.
Yeah, okay.
It is so easy to get around. I mean, you're just, especially where we live and where you live. It's close to the store. It's close to this. It's close to that. And it's just, and that's I think what happened to our lake house. It was not easy. Once we had one in northern Minnesota, and once we were here, I told Mark, I cannot see us retiring half the time in Minnesota because we will be bored. You can only look at the lake so much. You can only ski so much, or sit on the beach. I mean, it kind of cooked it for Minnesota. So, yeah, it's easy to get around.
All of the free amenities are nice. It is nice to be able to, and I will say, Leo and I kind of stay home a lot. We're homebodies mostly, other than our activities that we do. But at these rec centers, they have pool billiards.
Yep.
They have ping pong.
pong.
They have darts. They have bags. They have shuffleboard.
Yeah.
There's just so many activities, and so it is fun. For us, we usually only do that kind of stuff when people are visiting because it gives us one more activity to keep people busy.
Yeah.
But
Because if
it
they don't
is-
golf, you need something else. Yeah.
Yep. But I think that the free amenities, I don't know that I'll ever get tired of that. And
No.
they keep building different rec centers with different activities in them, so it's kind of nice. You can kind of mix
Well,
it
now
up
they
and go
have
see
the,
different things.
The shuffle, is that called shuffleboard?
It is shuffleboard.
Yeah.
It's the bar shuffleboard. I was
Yeah,
called,
it's
with the
not
sand
outside
on it.
shuffleboard. And now they have the video machines that are like Pac-Man
Yeah,
and all
First
the old stuff
Responders
that
has
the
that.
baby boomers played, which I think is very clever.
Yeah.
Darts and and they're getting more creative in what they're putting in their
Picking
rec
up, yeah.
centers. So they're keeping up with how old we are, which is pretty smart. One nice thing I love about the villages is we have made really good friends. And our neighborhood has turned around, and we do a lot of things with our neighborhood, which Mark and I have always said we'll never do that, but now we are. And there's just so many nice people here. I mean, you hear about the bad ones, but that's any city. I mean, you're going to have a grumpy old lady or a grumpy old man, but most people are pretty nice. And we've met a lot of interesting people, very nice people.
And going along with that, with the making friends, or even with like my activities and stuff, I really enjoy hearing people's backstories. So, where are you from? What did you do in the real world? Because I've learned a lot of really interesting things. And if you see these people, you're like, but you would have never guessed. But we're all, like I said, kids playing in our t-shirts and gym shoes. So you don't really see that as a corporate executive of Pepsi or whatever, or some high-ranking colonel in the army or something. It's just funny because when you talk to people, you're like, really? And so that's one thing that I still enjoy, is always getting to know people. And I'm always amazed at the age. One of the gentlemen I play tennis with is over 80. And he plays, and we were joking today because I played with him, and we were joking about, I said, there's no way you're 80. Don't lie, you're not 80.
Yeah.
And he is. And I'm like, you play like you're 42. So that's his new number. He's 42.
Me too.
But
Yeah, there's a lot of fit people here.
Yeah.
And there really is a lot
Yeah.
of athletes that have kept.
as long as you keep moving, they say that's the
Yep.
key. Got to keep moving.
Don't let those bones.
Yep.
What else do you have?
The only other thing that I kind of have is there's always something new. And I am almost
that too.
assured in your lifetime and mine, there will always be something new here in the villages.
Yep.
Mostly
Yep.
because they have bought enough land, they said, to build for the next 20 years. So I'm going to, if they end at 20 years and I'm still alive, I'll be fine if I don't get to see anything new that they put in. But there's always some new place to explore if you want to.
Yeah, and we're finding that out doing this.
Doing the videos.
The videos,
Yeah.
because there's probably things I wouldn't have gone down there to look at,
Yep.
or up this way
Or,
to look at.
up north. I mean, there are a lot of things that, and it's kind of cute because some of our viewers will comment and say, "Well, what about this?" Or "Have you looked at that?" Or "Did you guys think about a video on that?" And so that's really helpful because then we're
Yeah.
like, "Well, we don't know everything here. Believe
No,
me,
no.
we know a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff we probably shouldn't remember, but." Anyway, but we don't know everything, and so it's really interesting when you all share with us things that you find interesting or that we should share or whatever.
Right,
So
yeah.
anyway, but there is always something new. There's always going to be a new rec center. There's always going to be a new pool to try. There's always
Yeah.
going to be a new neighborhood if you want to
They're
look
building
at.
new rec centers and new pools like crazy. I mean, it's just
And the new
going down
square's on
south.
its way.
Yeah, there's a new square, and we'll cover that as soon as it's finished.
Yeah,
the
let's
high
see.
school, the new high school down there is almost finished. You
Yep,
can
I
see
think they
that
said they
from
could start. They
August,
said you
I
could
think,
start
right?
picking. Yeah, it'll start
Yeah.
this fall. And they said they could start applying for because they're going to allow the people to choose which school they want to go to. They can
Oh,
still go
that's
to
what
the
I
old
know.
school or the new one. So they said you could select which campus. I guess would be the proper term. Yeah.
And they're
So-
hiring. So if you're a teacher and you're thinking about retiring, this
Might be a good
it's
opportunity.
charter school. The kids are great, all new and shiny.
Yeah,
Let's see. Can't beat the weather.
that's for sure.
We've talked about the weather on several videos. And another thing is Florida is a vacation state. So if you get tired of being in the bubble, although Mark and I don't go outside too much because he goes, "Can we get that red cart?" And I say no, and he goes, "I don't want to go." But we did go to Alabama last weekend, so that's huge for him. So there's so many things to do in Florida, so many things to see, and then so much bigger and bigger, better. I mean, it doesn't affect us. Do you think?
I don't think the way that they're
Yeah.
growing it is affecting us because
And you've talked about
honestly,
how it's
yeah,
grown.
we did our north to south video, and that was from 42, which is the furthest north in the villages. And we took the golf cart down to Sawgrass, and that was an hour and 20 minutes, I believe, by golf cart. So by attrition, people are going to say, "That's too far. I don't want to," and mostly we're here to be in the golf carts. Not that we'll never get in a car. But I think that a lot of people do like the golf cart lifestyles, which is why they've come. And so the idea of driving that far in a golf cart is going to kind of keep everybody. And so they're
In their
building
own
more
area,
golf cart
yeah.
courses, and they're building different things. And I still want to go down and see all the new stuff. But
Yes.
like, Southern Oaks right now is the furthest southern golf course.
Yeah.
For me, we played it. We played it once a year since it's been open, so we played it twice.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's also the most expensive right now. We've ended up renting. I think we've
I think
rented
we
a car
rented
both
both.
times.
Yeah, both
And
times,
so, and
I know we
like
can
to go
get
play.
there,
Yeah,
but because obviously we did.
yeah,
But I get a little bit tired on the
yeah.
underside.
It's a
sitting in
long
the
way
golf.
down. It's a long way home. It's mostly a long way home. It's
Yeah.
not so bad going down. Then when you're done golfing and you're tired and you just want to go to bed and shower, it's
And
like, ugh.
even though your seats are upgraded, on your cart, and they're pretty nice, and they have little armrests
Armrests.
that come down, and a little thing in the middle, that's still a long time to sit in a.
It is.
Not like your car.
Yep,
So
yep.
you kind of get out and stretch your legs, but yeah, it's it's we just had someone visit. Mark's sister came to visit, and her coworker, because they had a convention at Disney. And you forget until someone new comes and has never seen the villages to see the villages
They're
through their
excited, yeah.
eyes. Because she was like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have brought my parents here before I, moved them to me, because they would love this. They're active. My mom runs, all this stuff. And it was just really fun to see the villages again, like we saw it the first time. Or like when
Exactly.
you came down to see your dad
Yeah.
the first time. And even Mark's sister, she hasn't been here for a few years, could not believe how
Well, yeah, it changes so
much
much.
it
yeah.
has changed. But I think we forget, we take it for granted. And
Well, you do kind of get into a groove here. That's the
Yeah,
one thing that
yeah.
I will say. It becomes your regular life. So
Yeah.
you have your activities planned, and that's why it's kind of nice when somebody comes to visit to break up your normal routine. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like we don't go to the square a ton unless
we took
people
her
are
to
in
the
town.
square. She was taking pictures of golf carts,
Yeah.
especially the classic golf carts
Yeah.
and everything, and sending them to her husband. But I think we need to stop and relax and realize what we have here.
Yep.
And appreciate it. And when somebody comes and says, well, this, and this, I'm like, oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's why we still like it after 10 years.
Yep. I do. I
Or
still-
12. And
or
9.
8. Average 10.
Average 10.
So, but yeah, it is a great place to be. It's
It
not
is.
for everybody. I mean, we get a lot of negative comments
I
about the
know.
villages and
I
stuff, and
know.
it's like that's okay. Trust me, there's plenty of people here.
Yeah.
And some people feel like we're trying to. Well, you're not doing a great job of selling the villages. We're like, we don't really need to sell the
No,
villages.
We're just telling it our opinion.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know?
like take
Everybody
it, leave
has
it.
an opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of like another body part. But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so we're not selling villages.
No.
Doesn't matter to us. Come, don't come, like it, don't like it. That's
Because
all
if we
up to
are,
you.
I haven't got my royalty check yet. So
Yeah, well, that's the thing is we've really got no motivation. All we're going to do is bring more people here, and it's
Yeah.
going to be more crowded. And
then
but
people are going to blame us.
we're just
Now we're in
trying to
trouble.
be genuine about our feelings about the villages, and we both enjoy it, and we
We
both
do.
do still love it
It's a
after
great place.
8, 12, average 10 years.
Right. Yep.
So
So thanks for watching.
have a great day, and like and subscribe.